Mercedes. Obviously, we started the episode with all the conversations around their power unit. It has performed. Is it fair to say they've had the best performing power unit?
I think so, but there's a caveat there, which is called fuel.
Right.
Right now, we don't know, as we sit here now, whether or not they can run the high octane, basically carbon neutral Petronas fuel, or they have to go for the safe fuel. That will make a difference in the beginning of the season. It's very technical, but every engine manufacturer has to homologate with a fuel supplier a synthetic fuel which is completely carbon neutral, and every atom of that makeup needs to be accounted for. That needs to be shown that it is carbon neutral. Mercedes and Petronas are struggling with that, allegedly, but if they figure that out, I think that engine is definitely the most all-round strong one.
Mm-hmm.
The big question, though, is do they have all-round the best driver lineup?
So I want to get to that because obviously George Russell has had instances where he's made key mistakes, where he's been leading races and he's crashed the car, that sort of thing. But he also clearly has the talent to be an extraordinarily consistent driver, which is what we saw last year. He was
He
very consistent.
yeah, he was great last season. That's some of the best stuff I've seen from George Russell. And don't forget that pretty much every formula George has been in, he's won a championship.
Mhm.
And also he's done the hard bits, right? He spent 3 seasons down at Williams. And like even Williams back in like what was it, 2019? That car looked like
Awful.
scary to drive. And he still managed to, pull through and deliver as best he could in a car that was absolutely horrible. And
Mhm.
I think for George, learning all of that, taking that with you into Mercedes, this has to be George's championship winning season. It has to be the
His opportunity.
storyline. If this is it, yeah, I believe that this is his opportunity as well. And it's not like he doesn't know how to win championships. Okay, he knows how to win championships and he knows how to win races. You do. I think if you're Toto Wolff, you can feel very confident with having George Russell as your number one driver, and also with Toto's other driver and Kimi Antonelli, who actually looked pretty good during testing. Granted, he's got a lot of work to do. There's no question about that, but I still believe that this driver pipeline that they have built is very strong. I like where Antonelli is. Granted, you need him to sort of be on that same level of the likes of Charles Leclerc, Lewis Hamilton, Max Verstappen, and Oscar Piastri and Lando Norris, and Isa Kajar as well.
Do you agree, Nelson, with George Russell? This is his chance.
Yes, I do. The big
Do you think he can
question
seize
is,
that chance?
the big question is, can Mercedes keep up with development rates at McLaren?
Mm.
And will George have the backup of a second driver? The lineup at McLaren is just very strong. And we do know how difficult it is to be in such a position for the first time. We saw the struggles that Piastri and Norris had last year. But it will come down to just execution at some point, execution of races on George's part, and execution of development by Mercedes. And I think there's very little to choose between Mercedes and McLaren. But I think Tim and I've made the same sort of calculation that the best lineup plus the best technical team, the best functioning technical team. Let's not forget, Mercedes never got on top of last year's regulations.
Yeah.
For 3-4 years, they struggled with the similar issue. That team still has some proving to do in terms of development and understanding of regulations. So I have them as second, but where they can be second in constructors, it could be George's year in the Drivers' Championship.
Right, right.
And
And
speaking of that technical department, I mean, James Allison, this is a big year for him as well. I mean, it wasn't James Allison building the 2022 car, 2023 car. He was coming in for 2024 and helping them to try to turn things around, right? And try to get them working back to where they were when they were winning like world championships, right? Like James Allison had left that program for a while and then he came back and now he's back in charge. And this is going to be one of his cars that's going to be out there. And, Nelson said it really well. Like, can the James Allison sort of engineering department go up against that of McLaren's?
Yeah, this is going to be a fascinating thing because obviously coming into the regulation change in 2022, Mercedes was really far behind, and I don't know that they were prepared for how far behind they were. I mean, God, it feels like yesterday we were talking about porpoising, and now I wonder, guys, do you think that Toto Wolff are internally are they looking at him and going, okay, if he's back into the top 2, top 3, maybe having a winner on our hands, everything's fine. Is there ever a time where Toto Wolff might be, hey, maybe it's time for you to step aside and someone to take over? Do you know what I'm saying?
I do, but I think if that moment would ever come, I think he would preempt it. I think Toto is very good at understanding where the wind is blowing from and whether it's your time or not. But he has some unfinished business, and if he could bring this team back to the front completely, that's quite a feat because we've never really seen teams drop off very sharply and then get back up again. It's fascinating, but the pressure is on because if that power unit is as good as we think it is, the factory team losing out to the customer team is extremely painful again.
Yeah, and how do you measure a good Kimi Antonelli season? What are you looking for from him? Because obviously you guys have already mentioned, hey, this is George's chance to win a championship. Kimi had some really bright spots, and then there were a couple of moments, and this happens with rookie drivers, where you had stints throughout the year where he, I guess, underperformed, didn't get the results they thought he could get. What are you looking for from him?
Consistency is key. That is what it is, and if you're consistent, you get closer in qualifying because you've got a better foundation. But he needs to be more consistent than he was.
Okay, Tim.
Yeah, if George is qualifying second, Kimi's got to be third or fourth. He's got to be close. He's got to be around there. And I think if you're Toto Wolff, you're seeing what is he learning from George, and what is he learning from George that he is putting into his driving. I think that's going to be also important in managing stressors around him better. Like managing the outside noise, I think is going to be extremely important for Kimi this season.
A tall order when you're that young and so
absolutely.
Yes. Yeah. And Italian. No pressure, right? I mean, it's coming up.
There is that.
Yeah. So
I mean, it's hard, right? Like you're an 18-year-old, 19-year-old, and you're in one of the biggest sports in the world, and everyone wants a piece of your time, and everyone wants to interview you, and everyone wants their picture taken with you. They all want your autograph, and at the end of the day, you got to focus on your driving, and like that, it's trying to shut out some of that, so you can really focus in on what you're there to do.
Gentlemen, you have them both in second place for the Constructors' Championship because it's the last one that we've done. Let me ask you this. How confident are you in that pick?
Very.
Me too. Yeah.
Yeah? Okay.